Hello everyone, I'm Tariq Mohammed here with you for the session of CodersTrust. I hope you are doing great. Well, today's topic is about jQuery, and there are some method of jQuery and some uses that the real life example of the jQuery event we can use. Well, before starting the main session, I just want to ensure that you are watching my screen properly and hearing my voice also. Okay, if you have any problem to see my screen or hear my voice, you can just comment here in the comment section. If you are logged into your Gmail account, you can comment here in the comment section, and I will check your comment regularly. And going to the main lesson, I just want to show you something about the settings and for the video resolution, because if your settings is not properly set, you cannot see my screen properly. Okay, so just make ensure that you are have the settings the properly. Okay, just select the settings icon. You can see here in the video. Just click on this one and choose the quality option. And in the quality option, you can see many options, but you have to select above 360 or 360. That means you can select 360, 480 or 720, but not 240 or 144, because those are for the low resolution. And if your option is selected to one of them, then you cannot see my screen properly. So please just make ensure that you are selecting the right option. At least 360, 480 is better and 720 is best, but 720p is actually requires high internet speed. If your internet speed is not such high, you just can select 480 or 360. I hope then you can see my screen properly. Okay, before starting, just checking if you have any comment. Sorry, I have to refresh the screen because the comment is not actually installed it proper here. Okay, one comment here is that voice is not clear. So please just ensure that if you have settings that properly, because for the wrong settings you will face the problem to hear my voice also. I hope others are listening my voice properly. All of if you have other problems, just comment here so that actually I can ensure that actually it is my problem or your end problem. Vishnu Rama, you said that you are not listening my voice. I hope the other are listening. If not, please just comment here so that I can be ensured that it is the problem from my end, not your end. Okay, I'm just waiting for your comment for next 1 minute. Then I will go to the session. But it is required that you are listening my voice. Vishnu Rama, if you are here, just confirm me that you are still facing the problem to listen my voice. And also ensure that you are in the proper settings for the video resolution that I have already shown here. So just ensure that also. Okay, great. I hope everyone else also listening my voice also. Okay. So I'm just going to the main session. So today's topic is about the jQuery. I hope you're watching my screen also. Just zooming here. Well, what is jQuery? jQuery is actually the first small and feature-rich JavaScript library. I hope you have already known about the JavaScript language, and jQuery is built on the JavaScript, and it is the collection of many built-in functions method that actually makes us easy to make some interactive web content. So jQuery is the first library and the most popular for the JavaScript library, and it has changed the way actually the writing JavaScript, because you can see there are some other dollar sign and some other braces, so which is actually introduced by the jQuery, not the JavaScript is not actually not write the code. So jQuery has changed the way of writing the JavaScript, and jQuery makes the event handling like the animation, the Ajax, and other things actually simpler, so that actually the developer can actually use those feature more easily writing the less code. Okay, the first one that about the selector, and I'm using the brackets, the IDE. Whatever you use doesn't matter actually. Whatever you feel comfort, you can use any IDE. I'm using the brackets. And the first thing you have to make ensure that you have included the jQuery library properly. I just kept in my the JS folder, and also you can keep it in your JS folder. This is the jQuery.min.js. So you can just put here in the JS folder, and you can also include this jQuery library in this our HTML file, just using this line of code. And now I will write the jQuery code. So before the starting code, I just write an event is ready, this document dot ready, and this is actually for, that means when the DOM is ready, that means the document is ready, our, and this code will run here. So it's actually for the jQuery purpose, you can see. So we can ensure that our code is fine here. I'm just checking the alert. Hi. So when the DOM is ready, it should run here. So just running this file here. Okay, you can see there is alert then hi, just when the DOM is ready and this code is run properly, this alert. Okay, now I will go for this selector. You have, if you have already used the CSS or know something about the CSS, you know what is selector. But I'm also reviewing that selector is for the class. We can use the dot as we used in the CSS, and for the ID it should be hash. So for class it can be dot, and for ID it can be hash. So we can take an element here in our body tag. So let's make it something like class box here, and this is the box. Now I will right click for the box forward sign, selecting the box element. Okay. So now I have selected the box element, this one, and write some CSS. Not now I'm writing the CSS using the jQuery, not the CSS, because I didn't use any CSS file or any internal CSS file. I'm just writing it here with the jQuery. So let's see how we will write it. So there is a method called the .css, and there are two parameters. The first one for the attribute name, that means the CSS attribute, and the second one is for the value. So it should be written here like that. For example, we can set that height and value 120 pixel. Okay, so I also set the width also, and it can be 120. And finally, I just make a background color so that actually we can see the box here, because it is now blank, so we cannot see whether it has the height and width, but it should the color, so it can be like color red. Okay, so yeah, you can see there is a box which has the red color and the same height and the same width also. So 120 is the height and 120 is the width and the red. So we just have made it using the CSS method of the jQuery. We did not write any single line of CSS code actually. We just write it here in the jQuery. So this is the CSS method. So we can actually use all the CSS properties here in this CSS method of the jQuery. And also you can use the hash. I'm just closing this editor because it's making confusing me every time. Okay, so I'm just taking another things like h1. Welcome to CodersTrust, and the ID like T, just a single T. And now I'll make the different font color. So the ID should be like T, and the color should be the color of the text actually like so. So let's see here. You can see just it is change the color. Now it is now like that. So color equal to blue. Dot CSS, and we have used the ID selector, that means the hash using, and we have changed the color also, and we can change the other things that we can use using the CSS. So I hope you have understood about this selector and the CSS method of the jQuery. Now I'll go for the events. Before that, I just want to ensure that you are okay with my screen. Well, for the screen, I think because I'm using the full screen, I'm sure because I think your resolution is not properly set, because I'm using the full screen here. You can see here, and I shared my full screen actually, not any partial screen. And I think you should see my screen properly. Well, if you have still the problem to see my screen, you can comment here, because I also can see here, and you can actually uh, make it the full screen mode. Just click on this icon, you can see the last icon. Just click on here, you can see the full screen mode if you are not properly see my screen. And other things are fine, I think, here, because my settings of the screen sharing is properly set here. But still, if you have any problem, you can comment. I'll try to fix it if it's problem in my end. Well, and now I will go for this and the things, and that's which is event. So there are two events basically. There are more events, but basically we will do two events today. The first one is the click, and the second one is the change. Okay, so let's try with the click. So for the click, for example, we have a button here like that button, and for the button I can give some ID like change color, and just some text change color. For this button, I will write some events. So for the change color, is the ID. So it will give the hash and okay. So I use the click event. So this is a click, and there is a function actually which is set the callback function. So the click will be done. So what will be happened here? So this is a you can see here second places, and we can well when change color will be clicked. So at something happened here like the box color will be changed something else like it will turn into the blue. So by default it is red now. So when we'll click on the change color the button, so the color of this box will be changed to the blue. So let's try it here. Okay, so you can see when I just click the color has been changed to the blue from the red. So I can write actually many other method also, not only the one. For example, I want to make change for the text color of the welcome, so you can write red also. You can this is also changed to the red and this is changed to the blue. So actually you can do many things here in the event. So just in this event we can write whatever we need here. Okay, I'm just checking comment still any one of you have any problem? Well, for Shariful Islam, for you comes on actually, it is the for all students around the world. So actually, it is not possible to make it in Bangla because it is for the all the students of the CodersTrust in the many countries. So I hope you will consider this issue, and I hope you have no problem to understand my language because our English should be actually uh, understood by at least the Bangladeshi also. But if you have any problem, still you can say actually some other same topic. Actually, we have recorded in the Bangla version, so you can see the Bengali things here in the other YouTube. This is the channel you have already subscribed here. And for Isaac Robin, I think now it is okay for the screen. If you have still the problem, you can comment. I didn't see any comments so far, so I think it's okay for your end. And for Shariful Islam, I think it will be okay for you. And pardon me if I still did have problem for you. Well, and now I'll go for the other things. The click also we have to use this click event. Now I'll use the change event. So for the change event, I can write a selection box here. So this is used for the drop down menu, like not menu, actually the drop down selection. So I can write here option. So like option one can make. So I can just make some option here. And for the select, I'm just giving an ID like change size. Okay. So I'll make some the change event now. So for this change event, I can just copy this segment of the code here and paste here. And for the change, you can see change size. So make it with the size and the change event. We have already used the click event. Now I'll use the change event. For the change, I just want to make this height and width of the box different here. So the width like be 40. For height also can be changed to like, okay. So let's try it. So you can see this is the option, and you can see now it is changed to the uh, new site that I have already provided here in the change event. So whenever the value is changed in the select box, so it will affect the size of the box here. So this is the change event. Now I will make a practical example of the actually how we can use the change event in our real world example like here. Okay, so let's make select box some country. So there are some images in my images folder. So for the flag, so for Bangladesh we have the BD, and I have already our three here. So there should be like Argentina, Brazil, Canada. So for Argentina it is ARG. For Brazil it is PR. And finally for the Canada, CAN. Well, why I'm giving this value in the here? Well, I'll explain here later. And I'm removing those stuff from here and just to make it clear. And I'm using the image tag, giving an ID of the image like fact image. And by default, I'm giving the source to the BD, the flag of Bangladesh. Okay. And there are select box. Just want to make it. We can just flag enter select box here. There is a questions for the Isaac Robin that how many events in jQuery? Yeah, there are many events like mouse over, ready, and other things. You can see in the jQuery official website, jQuery.com here. But for today, I'm just discussing about these two events, which is actually mostly used, the click and change. Also, you can see the mouse over out, and like the ready state and other things. So you can just see here in the official website of the jQuery. And in other session, I will try to cover also those other events also. Okay, so I'm just going back to our code here. So it is perfect now. Now what I want to do here, when the changing this select box, for example, here you can see that there is select box of countries. So when you will change the drop down value of any country, then the image of the country flag also be changed related to this drop down here. So for that, so I'll write an event in the change flag. Okay. So for the change flag is a change, and for this change flag we have to do two things. The first one is we have to take the value of this attribute of this. That means the option is selected. So we can take the value like a variable img source. That means we are want to keep the source in temporary in a variable in the JavaScript variable here. Then I will take the value here, change flag dot val. So the value of this selected option is now in this variable of img source. Now I want to set this value. That means, for example, now it is selected to the Argentina, so the value should be the change flag is this one. That means the image is arg.png. So this value is now saved in this variable, and now I just want to make this value to this one. That means our flag image. So I'll use this one. It is also id flag image, and attribute will use this another method which is called the attribute. And for attribute src, that means this source of the image. Now I'll make it the one I have found from this one. So this is here. So what are we doing here? When this flag select box is changes, and the value of this changes option is now in the variable img src, is the image source. And now setting this value, new value, to this flag image. That means this flag image. So this source image now is changed to this one. So let's see here. Okay, you can see now when I have selected the Argentina, and the flag has already changed here. In Brazil, it is also changed for Canada and for Bangladesh. So you can see just it's actually a real world example we can use for such stuff here, using the change event here, and just doing this two things here, just taking the image source of the selected option and settings into the flag image. That's it. And we have used the change event. Well, so this about today's session. I hope you have enjoyed this session. If you have any questions or regarding today's session, you can ask here. I'll try to clarify you. Well, you can comment here. I will finish the session shortly. Before finishing, I just want to inform you about something about CodersTrust, uh, because there are some newcomers in the session, I hope. So, CodersTrust is basically a Denmark-based IT company which is working for developing IT skills in many countries. Started from Bangladesh, and now it's working in India, Bhutan, Malaysia, Kosovo, Kenya. So, day by day, actually, a new countries adding here. And the main purpose of this Coder Trust not only providing the IT trainer, also make their capable of earning in the marketplaces. So the students who have completed successfully the courses of the Coder Trust actually will be able to earn in the marketplaces, like global marketplaces, the Upwork, Freelancer. And you can also check the success stories of the students who have already started earning here in the marketplaces after completing course in Coder Trust. Also, you can see the curriculum of the course outlined here. There are front-end development and full stack development, and there are some other things like soft skill, like the negotiating with skill and writing a good proposal. So all things are actually going to be provided by the Coder Trust, and there is expert support team. And so whenever you start in marketplace working in the real project. In that case, actually, you will get support from the support team of the CodersTrust if you face any problem in your project. So you can also check other issues like the payment issues, the class schedule, everything in the support team. You can chat with the CodersTrust team. Also, you can call to the CodersTrust support. Also, you can send message to the Facebook page of the CodersTrust. And I hope you will check more in details if you are interested to explore your skill in the area of web development. Okay, so I hope you have some questions. If not questions, I'll end the session quickly. Well, I'm just reviewing this one, the last code segment here. Yeah. So this is the change flag. So what we have done here, we just want to make these changes, and we want to make the flag changes. So we have used two things here. The first one is the flag and image img. We have used the img tag here. So for this image, and also we have used another drop down here. So you can see this one, this select. And when we just change the drop down value, that means this one, any of them, and we want to make to change also the image also. So what we are doing here, we are just keeping the value of the images source in the value of the option, that means the select box. So for Bangladesh, it is bd.png because the name of the flag of image is bd. For browser, it is br. For Argentina, it is arg. And for Canada, it is can. .png. That means the name of the flag image here. So you can see here, I just keep the related value here in this one. And when the change flag is clicked, that means when the value is changed to the drop down, the change flag is the id of the select box, this one. So when this change flag is changed, and what is happening here, first the line of code actually taking the value. That means we are keeping the value of this change flag. That means when this change to Argentina, for example, so the value of this change flag is now actually this one. So images arg.png. So this value is kept into the variable imgsrc, and this value should be set to this one. That means the image tag we have used for the flag flag image, flag underscore image. So you can say this is by default bd.png. Now we are changing this attribute, that means the attribute of the src, to this new value. That means the value we have gotten from here in the select box. So this new value is set to this one. So this source is now changed to this one, and the image has been changed. If you want to check it in more details, you can see here. I'm just showing the inspect. You can see. Well, you can see it is now br.png source image of this one, and now I'm just changing here Argentina. So you can see that the source is changed to this one. So when I'm changing the Canada, so it is also changing. So just this, we have changed the value of this image tag, and it is changing the flag depending on the select box. And I hope you you can understand now, Isaac Robin. If you have any problem, still you can comment here before finishing the session. Okay, I'm checking for the last time here. And whoever joined later, you can just check the whole session in the same URL. Just refresh the URL. You can see the whole session is recorded to the URL, and you can replay from the beginning. So don't worry if you have missed anything here in the my session. That means whoever joined later. So you can just refresh the URL, and you can see the whole session recorded in the same URL. And if you have any question later, you can also comment here. I'll try to reply it later when I check the comments again. Okay, and Isaac Robin, just please try to make a comment so that I can be ensured that you have understood everything properly. Okay, so thank you everyone for joining today's session. I hope you will continue the practice with jQuery. jQuery is actually interesting thing to do, and it makes the web content more interactive, and you will enjoy if you are actually very much passionate to work with the jQuery. And I hope you all also join the session of the CodersTrust, which is regularly happen in the uh, week, 5 days in each week. So for today, I'm just closing the session. And good night. Take care. Bye.